Hey, y'all. So this is my freight current map that I created. Once again, this is from an East Coast perspective. I'm from Baltimore, but the country is my backyard. Uh, so if you've been living on the West Coast and you're looking at lanes a little different, you should be because you have more experience over there. And I try not to talk about anything that I don't know for sure or that I can't prove or that I haven't proved through my own actions. Uh, First off, we want to talk about the colors. Red is your fuel or backhaul. This is going to be the lowest paying direction of a lane. Green is going to be your profit, the highest paying direction of a lane. These black bars that's coming across coast to coast, uh, this short line right here actually represents the whole entire coast. So when you see it right here, this is not just talking about Virginia. This is talking about the whole entire coast. Um, these are interchangeable freight lanes, and there are more. But I'm speaking from East Coast perspective because once people get out, their objective is to make a few dollars and come back home. So, but I've noticed that on the West Coast, I love this lane right here, running up and down I-5 from LA going up to Oakland to Portland, Oregon to Seattle, Washington. At different times of the year, you get your money on different ends. But even still, you can do this run twice a week, sometimes three, if you're really hitting it. And you can make a killing running up and down here. Different times of the year, like right now, it was wintertime. Weather is bad all up and through here. Weather is terrible. Drivers are flocking south. They will pay you a lot of money to go over here when the weather gets bad. Alternatively, on different times of the year, you get your money coming back across. So it swaps. The same with LA. Sometimes you get your money going east. Sometimes you get your money coming back. Now, LA, Denver seems to be on the even keel. If I was living in LA, I would definitely be running Denver or I would be running Las Vegas. Or if I was being greedy, I'd be running up and down. But definitely Denver. So what we got over here on the East Coast, as everybody knows, you don't make any money coming out of Florida, but you certainly make your money going down. The same thing with the Northeast. When you leave Maryland and you go up to the Northeast, Maine, Connecticut, Massachusetts, Vermont, all them states up there, you get your money going, but you don't make any coming back. You just covering your fuel and the cost of your load either to go up or your next one. Midwest, you make your fuel money. You're going to get the low end of the stick going over to Chicago, going over to Detroit, going over to Ohio, Columbus and all that stuff over there, Indianapolis. But you make your money coming back. So don't get tricked out of not going because actually on the East Coast, if you're living in Baltimore, Chicago is the very best run if you run that consistently and only. Trust me, I did the numbers. I've been doing this for a minute. Baltimore to Chicago is the best run. And also, if you want to really pipe it up, you cross the leg. You want to go from Baltimore to Chicago, then from Chicago to Atlanta, then up to Baltimore. But you don't want to go from Baltimore to Atlanta, then Atlanta to Chicago, then Chicago to Atlanta. Why? Because you're going to get two ends of the low leg. As you can see right here, you get the low end of the stick going down to Atlanta. You make your money coming up. But it's the same way here. So when you're leaving Baltimore going to Atlanta, you getting the low load. But when you come from Chicago to Atlanta, you're getting a high load. Then when you come from Atlanta to Baltimore, you're getting a high load. So you combining two high loads together. That's a trick for different parts of the area. And that's also something they taught us in broker school. I didn't create that, but I have experienced it and know that it works for sure. When you're going down to Houston, you don't get low loads, but you get a lower load. So going down, you may get 3,000. Coming up, you may get 3,500. It's not too off, as if going from Baltimore to New York or somewhere up in the Northeast, you're getting 2,000, and coming back, you're getting 800, 1,200, stuff like that. Or going over to Chicago, you're getting 1,600, 1,800, and then you're coming back with 2,500, 3,000. And these numbers change. One thing I don't like about old truck drivers that have a disdain for the game because it stole them away from their families or whatever, lost their wife or whatever the problem is they got with trucking. This is not 1980. So I can't compare today's prices to those prices back when fuel was 10 cents a gallon. No different than somebody can say, well, we was getting pounds for 600 back in the day. Well, these boys was getting them for 3,000, 3,500, some 5,000 to 6,000. It's a completely different day, completely different game. So you comparing apples to oranges. But freight is a market. The same way stocks have a bear market and a bull market, the same way real estate has a buyer's market and a seller's market, it's the same thing with trucking. It's a commodity. It goes up and down. So for the most part, you'll get your money coming over to Denver, but you can't expect much money coming back. So what you do when you get over here is you take a short hop. You get over to the west, or you come up down west, and then you take a load over. But when you get over here, say you get 4,000, 4,500, 5,000, depending on the time of the year, and you're only getting 2,500, 3,000 coming back, don't be surprised. Same thing with Houston. I don't have it up here, but Houston to Memphis is a serious lane. That's when I was living there, and Houston to San Antonio. But this is based off of Baltimore. But you can make a lot of money down to Houston, running up to the northwest and coming straight back down, or running to Denver, coming straight back down, or running to that Memphis, Little Rock, Arkansas, coming straight down. And if you want to keep it a little more local, Houston to San Antonio is a very good lane. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to screenshot this, and that's going to allow people to take pictures of it and keep it and study it. Because when you're looking at the load board, this is why I encourage people to get the load board before they even have a truck, because you want to look at it every single morning and study the rotation of freight. Everything has a cycle. You got summer, spring, winter, fall. So you're not going to keep getting the same amount of money going each direction. So you got a lot of people crying about freight right now, but then when I talk to them and figure out what they're doing, it's like, oh man, you ain't even doing all you can do. You ain't going for the gusto. You trying to stay within a few miles of the house, and you think it's going to be gravy all year. Nah, that's not how it works. You got to go where the money is. So I'm going to screenshot this, and if y'all got questions, you can call me on it. But the main thing you need to do is look at the load board every single morning in different areas. So if you notice, when I first started showing y'all the load board, I was showing y'all local, regional, and long haul coming out of Baltimore. Now I'm showing y'all the highest paying rate out of the 4 largest cities: New York City, Chicago, Los Angeles, and Houston. And I'm pulling them within a 500-mile radius, so it will capture some of those smaller cities that are in the area, so you can get a larger scope of what's happening in the whole entire country as opposed to just here. I love Baltimore. That's where I'm from. So I make all my messages for us, because you got to start home. But I'm expanding the information so everybody can be included, because this thing is growing. So till next time, y'all stay tuned. Drive safe out there. If y'all got any questions, hit me up. And If you really, really, really need me something, please don't send me no DM. I be driving, and when I'm not driving, I'm real productive, so I don't sit still real long. If you want to get me faster, you need to text 85 to my Slick text number, which is 855-675-0609. That's going to send you my website along with my phone number. Look at the website first, browse through the information so you can have informed questions when you call me, as opposed to asking questions that are already answered. So with all that being said, till next time, y'all stay safe. Peace.